The Russian Air Force has deployed Su-34 strike fighters and Su-35 air superiority fighters to launch renewed strikes on Ukrainian forces in the Russian Kursk region. The Russian Defense Ministry reported on January 8, the Su-34 multi-role supersonic fighter bomber, escorted by a Su-35S fighter, took off from its base airfield and carried out a bombing strike on a stronghold and manpower of the Ukrainian armed forces. It added that the Su-34 used universal planning and correction modules in its attack, and that both fighter classes struck their targets successfully. The Defense Ministry reported the previous day that a Su-34 delivered a strike on a cluster of Ukrainian military manpower and armored and motor vehicles near the border in the Kursk region, with guided glide bombs used in the attack. The strike fighter returned to its airfield only after receiving confirmation from reconnaissance personnel that the Ukrainian targets were destroyed. The Su-34 and Su-35 both entered service in 2014, and currently form the backbone of the Russian Air Force with over 100 of each in service. Although both aircraft are derivatives of the Soviet Su-27 air superiority fighter, the Su-34 is approximately 50% larger, has a much longer range, and can carry much greater weapons payloads, making it particularly optimal for strike operations. As Ukrainian forces in Kursk have been simultaneously assailed from several sides, reported losses have become increasingly extreme. The Russian Defense Ministry on October 27 estimated the loss of over 27,150 troops, 177 tanks, 97 infantry fighting vehicles, 106 armored fighting vehicles, 1,014 armored combat vehicles since the fighting started in the Kursk area, which was up from the 20,650 personnel estimated in the first week of October to have been lost in Kursk by that point. The increasingly widespread use of glide bombs against Ukrainian forces in Kursk and other locations has been highlighted with growing concern by Western and Ukrainian sources, with multiple Ukrainian personnel in January 2024 having informed the New York Times that new Russian strikes using these bombs imposed additional devastating power, and with 500 kilograms of explosives could thus obliterate their underground bunkers. One serviceman compared the impact of Russian glide bomb strikes to Hell's Gates, stressing that the Russian Air Force would send them 2 by 2 by 2, 8 in an hour. It sounds like a jet coming down on you. The use of thermobaric warheads has reportedly made Su-34 sorties significantly more lethal still when targeting fortified positions, with this kind of ammunition having been widely likened in Russia to flamethrowers for their special ability to clear trenches and bunkers. The Su-35, though not part of the latest generation, remains an essential component of Russia's air power, with its proven effectiveness on the battlefield despite being outclassed by the Su-57 in certain aspects. The increasing international demand for the Su-35 also presents a significant challenge for Russia. In particular, Iran has shown interest in acquiring the aircraft, and such deals are likely to continue to grow in the coming years, further straining Russia's ability to prioritize domestic needs over export agreements. This is compounded by reports that other countries, including Indonesia, are still weighing options for acquiring the Su-35. The growing global interest in the aircraft, paired with its ongoing use in Ukraine, makes it a valuable asset for Russia's defense sector. It also underscores the balancing act required to meet both domestic and international needs. Meanwhile, The Su-34, Russia's multi-role attack fighter, played a disproportionately large role in the Ukrainian conflict in 2024, undertaking extensive missions ranging from airstrikes to precision bombing. With its heavy weapon payload and significant operational range, the Su-34 has proven invaluable in combat. However, it has also suffered considerable losses due to the intense operational tempo in Ukraine, prompting the Russian Ministry of Defense to issue directives aimed at increasing production. This effort to expand the fleet of Su-34s aligns with broader strategic priorities, as the aircraft continues to serve as a workhorse for Russian forces in Ukraine. The Su-34's role was emphasized by former Minister of Defense Sergei Shoigu, who underscored the aircraft's importance as a workhorse, capable of conducting up to 4 or 5 sorties per day, thus highlighting its key position within the Russian military's operational framework. Additionally, the Su-34s produced in 2024 were enhanced versions, dubbed Su-34M, which represent a further modernization of the airframe and systems. These upgraded fighters integrate new avionics and weapons systems that make them more effective against a range of modern threats, especially in high-intensity conflicts like the one in Ukraine. The Su-34, with its significant weapons carrying capability, has become essential for Russia's long-range strike capabilities, capable of carrying an array of heavy precision munitions, including the new Fab 3000 glide bombs. These updates to the Su-34 fleet are part of a broader effort to ensure the aircraft remains at the forefront of Russian air power.